Hi everyone, this is Shalini Joshi Amdagni, and in this video I wanted to talk about sustainable solutions for your physical, emotional, mental health and well-being. And I was inspired to make this video. I'm sitting here in my balcony this afternoon, and just in the past few months, there's been so much information, so much data, so much controversy about, this COVID pandemic. It's like the C word in our lives now, and it's not going away. And every time there is something happening, something new happening, like new variants coming up, and the ineffectiveness of vaccines that we thought were reliable, but you're discovering how some of them are pretty useless, and some of them that were thought to be reliable, like the Pfizer vaccine, which was one of the top, at least in my knowledge, right? And now there is so many cases where the Pfizer hasn't worked. I know my daughter has friends in New York, and despite the 2 shots, they've still got COVID, right? And here in Thailand, we are sort of at our worst crisis with the COVID pandemic, because many people are not, don't even have access to the first shot, because that's just the poor management of the rollout of the vaccines. I have my first shot, so there's a lot of fear and anxiety because of the rising COVID cases and the rising death rate, and people not being vaccinated, and people who are vaccinated still don't have their second shots. And then all this news about, even with Pfizer, and who knows, I don't know how effective Moderna is, but there's this constant state of anxiety and fear that you might get COVID. So even if you have both the shots, you've got to get the vaccines, and I find that there's a lot of fear and anxiety and worry, and so much reliance on this vaccine to ferry us across this COVID pandemic. And I feel like, yes, we have people who are vulnerable, the elderly, people with all kinds of other, already immunocompromised systems, right? And I believe in science. I believe in the medical system to help us, to get us through a lot of the physical diseases. But I also find that we are completely relying on something outside of ourselves to help us get through this, and then feeling like helpless victims waiting for the vaccine to save us. So, and I remember a time in my life 14 years ago when all I did was wait for something outside of me to help me with my health, my doctor, the medications, the medical system. And I was diagnosed with costochondritis, and I landed in chronic pain, and nothing I did for months and months and months and months with the medications and medical expertise and the whole medical system, nothing worked for me. And I thought that if the experts and the medical field is can't do anything for me, then I'm doomed. I am stuck for the rest of my life, and I was on bed rest. But I was able to discover alternative ways to help myself. I share this all the time, EFT, emotional freedom techniques, that help me understand that I'm more than just my physical body, and that what is going on in my mind and in my heart, and the frustrations, the angers, the anxiety, the stress is a huge contributor to my, lowered immunity, which then, makes me even more vulnerable to getting these diseases. And it is now known, that 95% of all chronic illnesses and diseases are because of stress, because of anxiety, because of inflammation and, depression. And so here we are in this pandemic and waiting for the vaccines to kind of save us and help us move through this. And I feel like we've given so much of our power away because we are so disconnected, like I was, from our body's wisdom, from our body's, divine intelligence that knows how to heal itself if we are not constantly under the stress response. Because when you're stressed, when you're anxious every day about, it could be about the pandemic, but it could be about financial stress, job stress, relationship anxiety, things that are overwhelming you in your everyday life, things that are stressing you, things that are frustrating you, things that you're feeling, self-doubt, and all of these negative, upsetting, disturbing, bothersome feelings and thoughts and emotions impact your immunity, right? Because you're constantly stressed about the daily stuff, and then the stress response of the body kicks in. It's called the flight or fight. And what happens then is that the body is constantly focused on fighting this thing that is, stressing you out. And what happens is that then it doesn't do the job that it's supposed to do for all the other parts, right? So all other parts of the body suffer because you're constantly, stressed, and your body is trying to fight this thing that you're stressed about, and that lowers your immunity and, makes you vulnerable to attract the flus, the coughs and colds, the diseases, the COVID virus, right? And your body knows how to heal itself, but it can only heal when it is in its relaxation response. We have the nervous system, and it's divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And normally, your parasympathetic system is the one that's that is on, and it's peaceful, and things are just happening naturally, and then you get stressed, and then the stress response kicks in. But the thing is to bring your body back into that relaxation response, because then and only then the body will do what it's supposed to do, right? And you will set yourself up in a really good place, so that even if you get the COVID, you will go through it with a lot less struggle, with a lot less anxiety, and be able to overcome it. And there are hundreds of tools out there, that you can now use to help yourself. And one of them is emotional freedom techniques, the technique that I've been using that helped me get out of my chronic pain, my chronic disease, and I've been using it for just about every thing in my life. And the wonderful thing is that you don't need fancy equipment, you don't need to pay anything, it doesn't cost anything, it's free, and it's literally available at your fingertips. And all you need to do is tune into what's stressing you out emotionally and tap on acupressure points, which when you tap on them, just like acupuncture, you stimulate these energy meridians, which have all this stuck, stagnant energy from the stress and the anxiety. And as that starts getting stimulated, it frees up. It's like a traffic jam. There's this congestion inside, and as you think of the things that are congesting that system, I'm making it very simplistic, then you tap and you clear away this stagnant energy, this stagnant block, and it frees up the energy flow. And when the energy flow is freed up, it's not stuck, it's not blocked, it's not stagnant, then the oxygen is flowing freely in your system, the blood is flowing freely in your system, and your body is in a state of relaxation, and your body can do its job. We need to get out of the way by releasing the stress, releasing the anxiety, releasing the fears, releasing the frustrations, releasing the overwhelm. We are so good at our physical hygiene, washing the hands, keeping social distance, and staying indoors, and all of the physical hygiene that goes into staying safe these days. But we think of nothing of the what's going on in our minds. And it is 95% what is going on in your mind and emotionally that is affecting your immunity. And so instead of waiting and panicking and feeling anxious and feeling stressed and relying 100% on just the vaccine to save you, I think is giving away your complete power and not respecting your body's intelligence and its power to heal itself. And it is even more important right now because we don't know when this pandemic is going to end. They talk about new waves, they talk about new variants, they talk about the ineffectiveness of the vaccines and triple shots, and who knows how many shots we need, which is fine. But you can still help yourself and not give away all your power by taking charge, by equipping yourself with tools and different ways, whether it's tapping or 100 other things, so that you don't feel at the mercy of something outside of you, and you feel equipped and empowered to take charge of your health, because your health is essentially your responsibility. And it's time that we all get equipped and begin to take charge of our health on a daily basis. It's when you incorporate these tools into your everyday life, just like the everyday shower, just like the everyday brushing your teeth, you have to incorporate mental, emotional hygiene in your everyday life to boost your immunity, to stay at ease, so that your body can do its thing. So I'm going to put a link to my YouTube video which shares how you can do EFT tapping. I have a book coming out very soon on instant pain relief that goes into a lot more detail about how you can use EFT, not just for your physical, not just for your emotional, but health and well-being, but for all different aspects of your life. So if you are interested in that, I'll post the link below, and please take charge of your health, get equipped, and move forward feeling more confident and at ease, and allow your body to do its thing to heal itself. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.